ki jai. Prabhupada founder Acharya ISKCON ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Sri Guru and Sri Gaura. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 6, which is entitled The Killing of the Demon Putana. Text 22 and 23, and 23 is on the board. I will read text 22 first. Avyat ajondri manimam stavadhan vatoru yakyo shutta katitatam jattaram ayasya ritkeshavas tvat ura isha inastu kantam Visnur Bhujam Mukham Urukrama Isvarakam. Text 23. Chakri Agrata Saha Gada Harir Astu Paschat. Fat Parshvayor Danurasi Madhu Ajanascha. Koneshu Shanka Urugaya Upari Upendras. Tarksya Kshito Aladara Purusha Samanta. Chakri Agrata Saha Gado Arirastu Paschat. Tvat Parsvayor Danurasi Madhu Ajanascha. Koneshu Shanka Urugaya Upari Upendras. Tarksya Kshito Aladara Purusha Samanta. Chakri Agrata Saha Gado Arirastu Paschat. Tvat Parsvayor Danurasi Madhu Ajanascha. Koneshu Ashanka Urugaya Upari Upendras. Tarksya Kshito Aladara Purusha Samanta.
Chakriyagrata Sahagado Harirastu Paschat. Vatparshvayor Danurasi Madhurajanascha. Koneshu Shanka Urugaya Upari Upendras.
Sagado Hariyatu Paschat
Shakyagrata Sagado Harirastu Paschat
Vatvasvayo Dhanurasi Madhuja Ajanisha
Vatvasvayo Dhanurasi Manuvajanascha
Konesha Sanka Ugaya Uparupandras
Koneshu Shankarudaya Uparupandras
Dakshakshito Aladara Purusha Samanta
Dakshakshito Aladara Purusha Samanta Shakyagrata Sagado Harirastu Paschat Shakyagrata Sagado Harirastu Paschat Vatparvayor Dhanurasi Madhu Ajanascha Vatparvayor Dhanurasi Madhu Ajanascha Koneshu Shankarugaya Uparupendras Koneshu Shankarugaya Uparupendras Dakshakshito Aladara Purusha Samanta Dakshakshito Aladara Purusha Samanta
Mataji.
Chakrata Sagado Harirastu Paschat
Chakrata Sagado Harirastu Paschat
Vatvasvayo Dhanurasi Madhuvajanascha
Vatvasvayor Dhanurasi Manuvajanascha
Koneshu Shankarugaya Uparupandras
Koneshu Shankarugaya Uparupendras
Dakshakshito Aladara Purusha Samanta
Dakshakshito Aladara Purusha Samanta
So we'll do the word for word from the verse 23. Chakri,
Chakri,
the carrier of the disc.
the carrier of the disc.
Agrata,
Agrata,
in front.
in front.
Sahagada,
Sahagada,
the carrier of the club.
the carrier of the club.
Hari,
Hari,
Lord Hari,
Lord Hari,
Astu,
Astu,
may he remain.
may he remain.
Paschat,
Paschat,
on the back.
on the back.
Tvat Parsvayo,
Vatvasvayo,
on both sides.
on both sides.
Danu Asi,
Dhanurasi,
the carrier of the bow and the sword.
the carrier of the bow and the sword.
Madhuha,
Madhuha,
the killer of the demon Madhu.
the killer of the demon Madhu.
Ajana,
Ajana,
Lord Vishnu.
Lord Vishnu.
Cha,
Cha,
and
and
Koneshu,
Koneshu,
in the corners.
in the corners.
Sanka,
Shankar,
the carrier of the conch shell.
the carrier of the conch shell.
Urugaya,
Hridaya,
who is well worshipped.
well worshipped.
Ukari,
Upari,
above.
above.
Upendra,
Upendra,
Lord Upendra.
Lord Upendra.
Tarksya,
Daksha,
Garuda.
Garuda,
Kshito,
Shito,
on the surface.
on the surface.
Haladara,
Haladara,
Lord Haladar.
Lord Haladara.
Purusha,
Purusha,
the Supreme Person.
the supreme person.
Samantat,
Samanta,
on all sides.
on all sides.
Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It's a little technical with the protection of all the aspects of the Lord's. Sukadev Goswami informed Maharaj Parikshit that the gopis, following the proper system, protected Krishna, their child, with this mantra. May Aja protect your legs. May Maniman protect your knees. Yagya, your thighs. Ashuta, the upper part of your waist. And Hayagriva, your abdomen. May Kesava protect your heart. Isha, your chest. The sun god, your neck. Vishnu, your arms. Urukrama, your face. And Isvara, your head. May Chakri protect you from the front. May Sri Hari, Gadadari, the carrier of the club, protect you from the back. So here we have all the gopis praying different incarnations of the Lord to protect the Lord. And may the carrier of the bow, who is known as the enemy of Madhu, and Lord Ajana, the carrier of the sword, protect your two sides. May Lord Urugaya, the carrier of the concho, protect you from all corners. May Upendra protect you from above. May Garuda protect you on the ground. And may Lord Haladar, the Supreme Person, protect you on all sides. Purport. Even in the houses of the cultivators, I'm sure here cultivators means like the farmers, even in the houses of the cultivators who were not very advanced in modern ways of civilization, the ladies used to know how to chant mantras to give protection to children with the help of cow dung and cow urine. This was a simple and practical way to give the greatest protection from the greatest dangers. People should know how to do this, for this is a part of Vedic civilization. Om Agyanati Brandasya Gyanasvakya Shakshuram Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So here in the pastime of the killing of the demon Putana, after Nanda Maharaj had held a celebration of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, in Gokul, then he, after that festival, he went to Mathura to pay his taxes to King Kamsa. And when he went to Mathura, he also met his brother Vasudev. And naturally, Vasudev was asking how is Krishna, and they exchanged some information like that after meeting each other. And then Vasudev warned, Vasudev also complained about the death of his children who were killed at the hands of Kamsa. And he told Nanda Maharaj, you shouldn't stay away too long from Vrindavan because you can expect some problems. And so please go back as soon as you can. And it was not too far away because Mathura and Vrindavan is not so far from each other, but transport was the bullock cart, so it takes a little more time. So then when by the time Nanda Maharaj came back to Vrindavan, then he saw, when he was reached practically home, and he saw their big, huge body of a demoness who was killed, and then of course he was wondering what's happening, and of course during the time also when he came back he was thinking that I can expect some calamities in relation to harm that somebody wants to put to Krishna, and that at the same time when Vasudeva was speaking to Nanda Maharaj, at the same time Kamsa was instructing Putana, because Putana had this mystic power for that she could transform herself, and she was already killing children by poisoning them. So that was already going on. So by the time he came home, Lord Krishna had already killed her by sucking her nipple and sucking out not only the milk but also her life. So then, as we know, then Krishna was playing on the breast of Putana, and the gopis then took Krishna, wanting to bring him to a safe environment, and at the same time they wanted to purify him from the possible harm that was done on Krishna by this witch with black magic and whatever harm could have been done to him. So then, and that's how we come to these verses. And yesterday it was also pointed out by Sundar Gopal Prabhu, and in the verses how Krishna was protected with items of the cow, because Lord Krishna, the Creator, has endowed the cow with very special qualities that no other animal has, and that's how they used the tail to, like in the form of when you do worship with the chamara or with the incense, the tail around in order to protect. Of course, Krishna didn't need any protection, but for us as living entities and for our children, Srila Prabhupada say, we should have this understanding, we should have this knowledge how to protect our children from bad influences, and how to use the special qualities that the cow has received for good health, for good sanity, to keep away the bad influences, the bad energies. And that's how they used the tail of the cow. Then they washed, they thoroughly washed Lord Krishna in baby Krishna in cow urine, and they put the marks of the tilak with cow dung, and before that also they used the dust from the walking of the cows. They used it to smear the body with the dust of the hooves of the cows. And that combined with mantras, then that's a perfect combination to neutralize whatever bad influences are there. And we do know that urine also is used in Ayurvedic medicines. Cow dung is also used in Ayurvedic medicines. So this, all these aspects of the cow are so beneficial, and it's important that we understand that. It's also important to understand how Srila Prabhupada stressed the importance of the farms. Of course, naturally, when Srila Prabhupada came in 1965, he directed himself towards the cities, but also soon after he established the New Vrindavan farm, which is a huge farm where he organized that there would be many cows and lots of milk, etc. So it was always Srila Prabhupada's vision to have farms that would even provide the city temples with milk, vegetables, grains, ghee, butter, etc. That was Srila Prabhupada's vision. How much we have been able to implement this vision is another thing, because it's not so easy to establish farms these times, because the whole industry and the whole industrialization works against us. Because in material world, milk is like a byproduct of the meat industry, and so the price of milk is much lower than it should be normally than the value of the milk, because it's a byproduct. But for us, for the devotees, we keep the cows for their life. We want protected cows. We want cows that are not sent to the slaughterhouse, because how can we, the cow, which is the most dear to Lord Krishna, which is as dear as the Brahmanas. Brahmanas are devotees who are knowledgeable about Krishna, who have decided to give their life to Krishna. So if the cows are as dear as the Brahmanas, so what more can you get? I mean, how important is the cow? And it's a very important aspect of our life, of our philosophy, of our, and obviously one day we will have to go. When we want to go to a simple lifestyle, it's only the last 150 years that there are motor cars. For us now, because it's in our whole life, we have seen motor cars, so we think that's life, that's this world. But the world is existing thousands of years without motor cars. So it's not so obvious as we sometimes think. And what are the results of this 150 years? Air pollution, sound pollution, water pollution, pollution of the, everything is polluted in this very short time. And it's not even under 50 years. I mean, when I was a child, then there were only, in the street where I was living, there was only like a few cars were there. Now everybody has a car or two in their house, but 70 years ago there was not much. So the pollution is so much increased, and then people try to find other solution, electric cars, this, that. It's all fine, but it's an over endeavor. It's an over endeavor of it has nothing to do with our goal of life. Our goal of life is to prepare ourselves to go back to Godhead and to stay in this place and do what is the minimum necessary on the level of material, material things, material achievements. So if the people would really take to simple lifestyle, that would immediately include the cows. Like in Indian villages, it's also diminishing very rapidly now. But every house had their cows or a few cows. But of course now also this when there are bulls or when they are given away. But given away means slaughtered. And so that's also a sad story, because to fully protect cows is one has to change one's lifestyle. If we want a modern lifestyle, and travel and live, live a life of sense enjoyment, then of course then the cow becomes a very difficult topic, especially protection of cows becomes a very difficult topic. But if we would surrender to a lifestyle of simple living and high thinking, then it would be, it would be much more easy for our Krishna consciousness to develop. Because it's not that the people are now that there are so many technological advancement, that the people, because of the technological advancement, became more happy or became more peaceful or gained so much more time to do what they want to do. No, it's not like that at all. It's the contrary. People became more passionate. People have less time. People are more screwed up, more nervous, more under pressure than before. So what is then the use of all this technological advancement if we are less peaceful and more sick and more people have to take pills to sleep? What is the use then of all this? We are screwing ourselves up for what? To achieve what? These are questions we can ask, and the cow is such a key aspect of Krishna consciousness. I wanted to show a few slides in relation to statements from the scriptures and from Srila Prabhupada.
Speaking about technologies.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Prabhupada said, to use it in the service of Krishna.
If you close the shutters, we can probably see it a little bit better. It's very faint at the moment. It's coming back.
Yeah. Of course, whatever technology there is, we use it in the service of Krishna. But we are screwing up ourselves, the whole world is screwing up itself by this exploitation and this rush for more technology to achieve what? Because whatever they want to achieve is not achieved by it. So what was Srila Prabhupada's vision for the cows and agriculture? Yes, this supplying of milk to the temple is wanted. Every center must have a farm, so we can get all milk and if possible vegetable, even fruit, flowers and milk. I want the world to see by our example that life can be lived naturally, peacefully, if one is self-sufficient with land, some cows, and chanting Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada stated, society needs only sufficient grain and sufficient cows to solve all its economic problems. So if we see that the Nanda Maharaj, they were wealthy. What did they have? They had cows and fields and grains. And then they traded it for gold, silver, this, that. But they were wealthy. Simply by herding cows. And it's not for nothing that Krishna took birth in such a family. It's to show us what is the best way to live. So of course this is a statement that, you cannot say tomorrow we stop everything else, it doesn't work like that. But we should understand that the underlying future for our temples, society, is cows and agriculture. And that's where peace is, that's where happiness is, that's where you get everything that you need from that. Because the cow also has a mystical aspect. It's not, she's the chosen animal, so to say. She's the chosen creation of the Lord, endowed with so many qualifications. After New York, 26 2nd Avenue, San Francisco and Montreal, the fourth ISKCON project was New Vrindavan, established in 1968. So Srila Prabhupada came in 1965. It took him a year before he, got acquainted with America and all its things, understanding what was what. And then, and obviously, in order to preach Krishna consciousness, to meet people, the city is the place. So he went to the city, but it's not that he forgot about, already in 1968, he established New Vrindavan. So it was immediately on his agenda. This is a little bit like a complaint. More than 50 years after ISKCON's inception, and with clear vision given by the founder Acharya, many ISKCON temples continue to consume milk from commercial dairy farms. Many ISKCON temples did not pay sufficient attention to Srila Prabhupada's vision to be self-sufficient and to have our own farms. But there are also a few remarkable farm projects such as New Vrajadam in Hungary, Gitanagari, New Govardhan, Almviksgard, Mayapur to some extent, Tirupati, etc. How special is the cow? Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Itaya Jagat Ditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. My Lord, you are the well-wisher of the cows and the Brahmanas. So here the cows are named first in this verse. You are the well-wisher of the entire human society and world. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Go Brahmana Itaicha. He is always very kind, Srila Prabhupada says, to the cows and the brahmanas. Therefore, one who worships Govinda must satisfy him by worshipping the brahmanas and the cows. The brahmanas are the symbol of spiritual education. Cows are the symbols of giving most valuable food. These two living creatures, the brahmanas and the cows, must be given all protection. This is real advancement of civilization, stated by Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is called by various names like Gopal, one who tends the cow, Govinda, who gives pleasure to the cows, because of his relationship with the cow. Even the eternal residence of Krishna is called Goloka, the planet full of cows. The highest planet in the spiritual world is with the cows. This was mentioned yesterday also. According to the Vedic injunction, the cow is considered as one of the 7 mothers. All the demigods reside in different parts of her body. By serving the cow with devotion, Lord Hari becomes pleased. You mentioned 33 crores, means 330 million demigods are residing in the cow. Krishna can be worshipped within the cows by offering of grass and other suitable grains and paraphernalia for the pleasure and health of the cows. This incident, this is related to what we are reading. The pastime with Putana gives us a clear indication of how important the cow is to the family, society, and to living beings in general. The transcendental body of Krishna did not require any protection, but to instruct us on the importance of the cow, the Lord was smeared over with cow dung, washed with the urine of cow, and sprinkled with the dust upraised by the walking of the cows. The ingredients of Panchagavya, when the date installation is done. This is London is served? Paris is served? The ingredients of Panchagavya are milk, yogurt, ghee, cow urine and cow dung. 5 products from the cow. This was mentioned yesterday also. All these items come from the cow. Therefore, we can just imagine, Srila Prabhupada says, how important the cow is, since its urine and stool are required for bathing the deity. It's very, which other animal? I mean, stool, we look on the other side if we and even the feeling in our body is like, ooh, yuckus, something like that. So, and here the cow, cow dung is antiseptic, it's purifying, it's used in deity worship, it's used in every bathing ceremony, is used for the installation of the deity. Panchamrita consists of 5 kinds of nectar. Nectar yogurt, milk, ghee, honey and sugar. The major portion of this preparation also comes from the cow. Ghee is another thing. Even when Srila Prabhupada had no money, no resources, very few devotees, how was he cooking? In ghee. So Prabhupada learned us to cook in ghee. Not just for himself, for everybody. He even made statements like, if a Grihastha wants to earn his living, make samosas, cook them in ghee, and your existence will be guaranteed. What do we do now? What does whole India do? Oil, oil, oil. And in many cases, the low-class oil. And then you see, many ladies in India, 50 plus, they're walking like wobbling while walking. We think we can save something with oil, later we will pay it by suffering, medicines, etc., etc. Special cures. And why do temples choose to cook in oil? For the economic. But Prabhupada didn't do it. When he had no money, he cooked in ghee. Maybe he was very careful in consuming or whatever, but he cooked in ghee. And he learned us to cook in ghee. And for the deities, we are still cooking in ghee. But for the devotees, we have stepped down to oil. Sometimes hard to understand. How important is the cow for the society? God's gifted professions for mankind are agriculture and cow protection. Light of Bhagavat, verse 9. Agriculture and cow protection are the way to become sinless and thus be attracted to devotion service. Those who are sinful cannot be attracted by devotion service. Human civilization means to advance the cause of Brahminical culture, and to maintain it, cow protection is essential. There is a miracle in milk, for it contains all the necessary vitamins to sustain human psychological conditions for higher achievements. Brahminical culture can advance only when man is educated to develop the quality of goodness. And for this, there is a prime necessity of food prepared with milk, fruits and grains. The miserable conditions in this material world can be corrected by a sufficient supply of milk, yogurt, honey, ghee, molasses, food grains, ornaments, bedding, sitting places, and so on. This is human civilization. If people actually want happiness in this life and want to prepare for the best in the next life, they must adopt a Vedic civilization. In a Vedic civilization, there is a full supply of all the necessities mentioned above. It is very important to note in this connection how wealthy the inhabitants of Vrindavan were simply by raising cows. All the cowherd men belonged to the Vaishya community, and their business was to protect the cows and cultivate crops. They were rich in material possessions. They, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, possessed such an abundance of various kinds of milk products that they were throwing butter lavishly on each other's bodies without restriction. Their wealth was in milk, yogurt, clarified butter, and many other milk products. And by trading, their agriculture products. They were rich in various kinds of jewelry, ornaments, and costly garments. Not only did they possess all these things, but they could give them away in charity lavishly, as did Nanda Maharaj. As we know, at certain festivities, Nanda Maharaj would give away cows and sometimes with gold and ornaments to the Brahmanas. Lord Sri Krishna, by his personal example, taught us the importance of cow protection, which is meant not only for the Indian climate, but for all human beings all over the universe. Less intelligent people underestimate the value of cow's milk. Cow's milk is also called go-rasa, or the juice from the body of the cow. If we really want to cultivate the human spirit in society, we must have first-class, intelligent men to guide the society and to develop the finer tissues of our brain. We must assimilate vitamin values from milk. And to develop the finer tissues of our brains, we must assimilate vitamin values from milk. Farm development is Krishna and Balaram. Krishna is tending cows and Balaram is plowing. Therefore, the plow and flute. Flute for tending cows and plow for agriculture. Krishna, Balaram. Krishna, Balaram. How important is the milk for the devotees? The purpose of food is to increase the duration of life, purify the mind, and aid bodily strength. This is its only purpose. In the past, great authorities selected those foods that best aid health and increase life's duration, such as milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, and vegetables. These foods are very dear to those in the mode of goodness. Animal fat is available in the form of milk, which is the most wonderful of all foods. Milk, butter, cheese, and similar products give animal fat in a form which rules out any need for the killing of innocent creatures. It is only through brute mentality that this killing goes on. The civilized method of obtaining needed fat is by milk. The cow, for instance, gives milk, but she does not drink that milk. She eats grass and straw, and her milk is designated as food for human beings. Such is the arrangement of the Lord. Thus we should be satisfied with those things He has kindly set aside for us. And we should always consider to whom those things we possess actually belong. Purport from Sri Upanishad 1. The cow is the most important animal for developing the human body to perfection. The body can be maintained by any kind of foodstuff, but cow's milk is particularly essential for developing the finer tissues of the human brain, so that one can understand the intricacies of transcendental knowledge. Although in this age man can live up to 100 years, their duration of life is reduced because they do not drink large quantities of milk. The cow should be protected. Milk should be drawn from the cows, and this milk should be prepared in various ways. One should take ample milk, and thus one can prolong one's life, develop his brain, execute devotional service, and ultimately attain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A pound of milk, half a liter, a pound of milk fresh from the milk bag of a cow is sufficient to feed an adult with all vitamin values, and therefore saints and sages live only on milk. So Prabhupada also says that if you treat the cow nicely, nicely means not beating, not turning the tail, so that in some cases it even breaks, etc., then she will give double amount of milk. Sri Prabhupada says. No society can improve in transcendental knowledge without the guidance of first-class man, and no brain can assimilate the subtle form of knowledge without finer brain tissues. For such important brain tissues, we require a sufficient quantity of milk and milk preparations. Ultimately, we need to protect the cow to derive the highest benefit from this important animal. The protection of cows, therefore, is not merely a religious sentiment, but a means to secure the highest benefit for human society. If one supplies milk to a talented sage or saint, the saint will develop finer brain tissues by which he can contemplate higher spiritual life. You cannot reject milk from the human society. As soon as there is child born, milk immediately required. Old man, milk is life. Diseased person, milk is life. Invalid, milk is life. So therefore, Krishna is teaching by his practical demonstration how he loves this innocent animal cow. The Brahmana cannot take any other food except it is made of milk preparation. That develops the finer tissues of the brain. Without milk, you cannot develop the finer tissues of your brain. And without developing the finer tissues of brain, it is not possible to understand what is God, what we are, and what is our relationship. Should devotees consume milk and milk products? There are broadly three categories of milk based on its source. Ahimsa milk. This is of course the best. Milk from cows protected throughout their animal life, their natural life. 2. Milk from the regular farmers, where the cows are grazing freely and are taken care at least till they supply milk. 3. Milk from the commercial dairy farms, where cows are hardly grazing and various hormone injections are used, etc. And the cows are not given proper care. Suppose we can't get ahimsa milk for one reason or another, then we should still take the organic milk or milk from the regular farmers. There was an incident in Australia where the devotees in the city, I don't know which city, where the devotees were approaching Srila Prabhupada that we can only here, it's not possible to get milk from the farmer where the cows are grazing outside, etc. We can only buy this milk in boxes, and there is some fish oil added to it. And then after, devotees expect the Prabhupada, then don't give milk. But Prabhupada said, no, you have to give milk, even if it contains this. So whatever circumstance, milk should always be offered to the deities, to the devotees. That's the point Prabhupada was making. But of course, best is, milk from our own cows. That's the very best, from protected cows. Is there benefit for the cow by giving milk? Devotional service in Krishna consciousness is so sublime that even a little service rendered to Krishna, knowingly or unknowingly, gives one the greatest transcendental benefit. The system of worshipping Krishna by offering flowers from a tree is also beneficial for the living entity who is confined to the bodily existence of that tree. When flowers and fruits are offered to Krishna, the tree that bore them also receives much benefit indirectly. Although Putana was an evil spirit, she gained elevation, just like the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is clear that the cows and elder gopis who offered milk to Krishna were also elevated to the transcendental position. And this is some resolutions from the GBC that Bhajan must meet out 2022. All ISKCON centers should develop a plan whereby all milk and milk products, butter, ghee, yogurt, etc., offered to the deities are produced from protected cows. The centers may approach the International Ministry of Cow Protection for assistance. That was a resolution made in 2019. That little girl with any ISKCON center can start a cow protection project with guidance from Ministry of Cow Protection and Agriculture. In order to start a cow protection project that will be accredited within ISKCON and accepted as an ISKCON supported project, a cow protection certificate of readiness needs to be obtained. This is in order to avoid that goshalas are set up and the devotees are not ready for it, and then the cows suffer. And this is the closing slide. Krishna with cows.
Yeah, you've opened up a can of worms there. Let's say a can of milk. There's 108 questions before we start.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's got 108 questions on their mind. But, let me see, a nice quote, I don't know if I didn't notice on this book, in the 8th chapter of the 10th canto, there's a couple of quotes, I could only find one just now. This is referring to Krishna. It says, his first business is to give all comfort to the cows and the Brahmins. In fact, comfort for the Brahmins is secondary, and comfort for the cows is his first concern. Another quote was saying, 5 types of entities are to be protected, and the most important is the cows. There's a lot of move in our movement now. I mean, some of the farms you mentioned there are not producing an awful lot of milk, by the way. Even though Govardhan's only just started milking the cows again.
Even Mayapur.
Yeah, but they're only just started milking cows again. And we know our limitations are incredible in terms of producing sufficient milk products to serve the purpose which you're talking about. So you recommend we should buy ghee, for instance, commercial ghee, from anywhere we can get it? There's no way we're going to be able to make ghee to serve, presently speaking, with the community of devotees. No way. Even a local situation like we have here, we can't sustain it.
Personally, yes, I would recommend it.
That's what we were doing during Prabhupada's time. What's your take on the big wave in our movement of veganism?
I mean, the aspect of protecting the animals, to not killing the animals, that aspect of veganism is very good. But the aspect of not consuming milk is a misunderstanding, I think.
You don't really do much to protect the cows, a few hundred people being vegan. In reality.
Yeah, I mean, the cows have an important role to play in Krishna consciousness, in all ISKCON communities in the future, hopefully much more than now. So, veganism means no cows.
Well, the cows may be there, but you don't milk. That's the philosophy.
But in order to make it economically viable, we would need to use the cow dung, we would need to use the urine, we would need to make medicines from it, we need to use the transport from the bulls. Then it's complete. If we do only one aspect and only milk, we will never be able to make it economically viable.
That's what happened in the past. We were getting a lot of milk. It didn't matter.
Yeah, and then we had a problem with the expansion of so many cows and calves. We couldn't keep up, and then the cows were badly treated, unfortunately. So unless we use all the aspects, then
Includes plowing the fields with bulls, not with tractors.
yes, includes that also.
Because the bulls are unengaged.
Yeah.
Not very popular these days.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to the Ahimsa farms in Leicester in the UK. Anyone been there? There's 2 Ahimsa farms in the UK.
Sitaram.
Yeah, I was involved with Sitaram. Local farmer, who was dairy farmer, his whole life transformed his farm into an Ahimsa farm under the direction of Sitaram, the boys who were in there. But, the reality is, most people would not be able to afford milk like that. I pay £120 for 1 kilo of cheese. £120.
But it's also again based only on milk. If you keep cows and you only use milk, it's unaffordable. It's uneconomical, unaffordable. That's why it's Krishna consciousness is simple living. I think includes transport, includes.
People don't realise the value of other cow products either. There's one farm in England run by a boy named Prabhu. She has about 50 acres of land. She's got about 100 cows. They're all cows which were saved from the slaughterhouse, or blind cows, lame cows. I don't know if you've been that. You've been in Amritsar?
Vrindavan?
No, it's in Sussex in England.
Oh no.
Yeah, Bhumi Priya, she looks after it. She's about 65 years old now. And she maintains it without any other income. No milk, but they're all damaged, old, blind, lame cows. Little bit of milk. And she simply sells cow dung and cow urine. I don't know how much she makes on it. When I was there, the day I was there, one man bought £400 worth of cow dung and cow urine. They come, because they're Indian community, they come down from London. They all want cow dung and cow urine. That's commercial, but, those products are very valuable. I don't know what to do.
Can I come back to Indian community that may help? But as you said, this idea that we cannot live without cars and just it's impossible to conceive that. 1 or 2 centuries, that's all. And in France, the motto before was labourage and pâturage sont les 2 mamelles de la France. You understand that? Plowing and wealth of France came from the bull blowing and the cows giving it. That was for centuries in France. And that's the wealth. So it's, it's not so, inconceivable or theoretical. It was like that for wealth. And now it's very difficult to conceive life without cars, tractors,
Electricity,
supermarkets.
running water, computers, mobiles.
At least you can conceive life with chanting Hare Krishna. It's a good start.
Thing is, these statements we know that one day they will be implemented one day. And those who will implement it will have a happy life, and they will realize that.
Even if that day doesn't come, some devotees realize that actually this is a process of pleasing Krishna. The whole purpose of our movement has only one purpose, and that's to please Krishna. There is no other purpose. Nothing to do with pleasing ourselves. Nothing to do with getting what I want. Nothing to do with satisfying the society. There's only one purpose of the Hare Krishna movement, and that's to please Krishna. There's no other purpose. If we do anything else with any other purpose, it's not Krishna conscious, simple as that.
And by practicing that, everybody will become happy eventually.
At least those who are doing it will be if they're in the right mood, they'll be happy.
I would like to hear briefly what volunteer is here, Arnaud.
Oui.
What he thinks about all that. What do you think about this whole thing about protecting cows, living through me, civilization based on simple life and that?
Yes, I think
Pretty much on the spot there, but it's not.
all the needs could be satisfied. All the needs, essential needs could be satisfied in that way. And it's a good way of life to eat what you make grow and to
So
community could grow up and first between each town we could try to reach food sufficiency to eat locally first.
So are there any devotees in ISKCON using these mantras with the cows thing for protection? Yeah, like the ladies in Lavan used to be nice.
Your wife, huh? What the girl calls wife.
Not cow, but
Yeah, well, she would if she could.
lemon.
Lemon. South Indian.
Maybe I would like to know, but maybe Namacharya Prabhu could tell us a few words about. He was not living next to the cows before, a few years ago, in tractors. And does it make a difference for you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, because I still live a lot with the tractors as well, but it's very easy to compare when you work like half day or all day with the tractor, and if you work all day with the bull. Well, after working with the tractor, you are dead. Your body deteriorates, your mind is totally distracted. Working with the bull is like, enjoying it. It's still physical work, it's more physical work than working with the tractor, but the feeling after work of the day is, you cannot compare.
You're purified.
Yeah,
Purified.
more purified,
90% of our energy is trying to satisfy unwanted desires. Practically speaking. In this world. And they're all satisfied when we're connected with Krishna, walking the way of truth. They're gone. Don't have to work for all that nonsense anymore. You don't need it. That's the idea.
So to stop
So we're
here.
ready to go. Everyone's ready for the field. Caitanya Prabhu is leading us in the march today. We're going to purchase another 500 acres of land around the corner here, buy another 100 cows and 100 bulls, and we're going to plough the fields now and milk the cows and provide all the milk products to all of our community in Paris and here. Okay?
By the way, we sent first batch of our cow milk to Radha Pariseshwara last time with the Jiva Plant.
Oh. You did what?
We sent first like few liters of milk for
For the day.
babies in Paris.
That's a very wonderful step. The step to continue and increase.
Very simple, really.
Yeah, I calculate in England, you know, that even with all the hints and all that they've got, for the community of devotees in England, they have to increase the production 1,000 times. A lot of work. We have to preach. I think Prabhu's idea was we preach to be like that man in Leicester. He was a karmic. He's transformed his farm into a Hinsa farm. To preach to farmers, to try to convince them, but you know, they're all very difficult. I mean, they're all tied up with it.
Yeah. Under pressure.
They die almost.
Under pressure to pay their bills, etc.
They don't own it there. They're all controlled by the corporate. Do give. Such a demoniac.
So we will stop here.
We will.
Shri Prabhupada
We have
ki
started.
jai. ISKCON cow protection ki. All Pranam